We have huge reports coming out from NHL insiders that the desert era may be over, but there are things to look at this that could be optimistic for Coyotes fans. I'll get into that later on this episode. Before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you watching that aren't subscribed, if you're enjoying this daily NHL content and you never want to miss another episode, make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button. We'll be here all season long giving you updates from all around the league. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is the end of an era. Now, I do feel bad for Coyotes fans. I know how hard this must be. Getting these reports just coming out that your team may end up leaving. And this did just come after a few days ago where we did get a tweet from the Coyotes themselves saying the future of the Coyotes and entertainment in Arizona. They went over their plans, what the new arena could look like if they did get the permits for it, and if they were moving forward with it. The arena looked outstanding. I thought this was going to be an excellent thing for the Coyotes fans and for Phoenix. Just getting this arena and getting these diehard fans somewhere to call their home would have been outstanding, but we obviously did get some tweets today from Frank Chiaravelli, and he did say breaking, sources tell Daily Faceoffs that NHL, Arizona Coyotes, and Smith Entertainment have made significant progress on the framework of an agreement to relocate the Coyotes to Salt Lake City, Utah. Memo updated governors today. Not done. Many layers and lawyers. Much to do. Now, obviously, this is not what Coyotes fans want to see. This is a team that obviously did go through a lot. Coming into the league, they were in Phoenix, moving to Arizona, getting moved out of their old barn into this college hockey rink. But the big thing with this is the fans show the support. Players love this arena. Some players even came out and said this was the best ice to play on. Myself, I didn't get to go see a game in Arizona, but the big thing with this is the atmosphere there looked incredible. You can see another tweet here saying, it's my understanding the Coyotes players are following the Utah relocation development through the media and social media. There has not been any formal discussion between the team and the players about where things stand or a sale agreement per team sources. It does continue on by Dave Pagnotta of the fourth period. This plan has been in the works for a while now. As I reported last month, Smith pitched a $1 billion offer for the Coyotes before and around All-Star break. Lots of balls in the air here, and if Coyotes move and the group secures land anyways, the NHL is likely back in Arizona for 2027-28. Now this is just, like I said, it's awful news. This is a team that was showing hope. They went through the rebuild. They have their players on this roster. They were looking in an upward trend. They were bringing guys in. They had plans for their new arena. And now, like I said, it just seems like the Coyotes might be out of the desert. You have memorable moments just from this season. Like Shane Doan's kid coming through. Just a feel-good story, scoring a goal in the home barn. It was incredible. You can just see these players that have been on this roster. Shane Doan, Clayton Keller, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Jeremy Roenick, Verbata, Keith, Hansel, Keith Yandel. There's so many guys that this franchise will miss if they do end up relocating. Obviously, if a team does come back, you're going to have a new team in 2027, 2028. Yes, this is a possibility. The big thing with this, though, is the fact that you lose these memorable moments. If you do get a team, this is a brand new franchise that you almost have to go back into a rebuilt state. You obviously don't have moments like this. You don't have these leading scorers like Shane Doan, Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, this team that you've grown to love. You can just look through the roster. You have prospects that have been brought up, that have been developed in Arizona. You have guys like Josh Doan. As I said, this is such a feel-good story. Getting your old captain's son back on this team in front of his hometown team. You've seen how excited Shane Doan was when he scored his first goal. We've seen the tarps come off in the press box. Shirts were flying. Everyone was fired up. This arena was electric, and it was one of the most electric moments from this season I can remember. But you have guys that you're going to end up not having a part of your franchise history. You have guys like Logan Cooley, who was just drafted and is one of the top prospects in the NHL. Lawson Krause. You have guys that have been with this roster. Clayton Keller. You have so many people that this franchise ultimately does lose if they move on and look at a new franchise. If they get a new deal, like I said, 27, 28, this is a long time, but in hindsight, it could realistically only be 3 more seasons. But with all these rumors flying around on how players have not been told much on it, we see the Coyotes Twitter still tweeting about keeping Arizona as a team, how they're talking about hockey belongs in the desert. As much as I agree with this and all these reports coming out, it does seem like traction, especially with the $1 billion bid, is leading into this team moving to Salt Lake City. When you do look at this, the Coyotes did come to Phoenix July 1st, 1996, and were named the Phoenix Coyotes. They were previously the Jets. The franchise changed to Arizona Coyotes in June 27, 2014, when they became, and the new owner obviously in 2019, and they stayed the Arizona Coyotes. This has been a franchise, like I said, from 1996. We've seen ups and downs with this team. We've seen the peak of this team. We've seen players like Shane Doan move in, become the leading scorer, as you can see here. We see recently drafted, and by recently, I obviously don't mean this season, but we see a guy like Clayton Keller coming in, making a name for himself on this team, 415 points in 516 games. Obviously, you have Shane Doan playing almost 1,500 games, 955 points, but even guys in recent memory of OEL, you have guys like Martin Hansel that wasn't that long ago. Just knowing that these moments, and I can't stop going back to this, just knowing that you have these moments of not having Lawson Kress, not having Logan Cooley, Josh Doan. Like I said, it's going to be hard to swallow for Coyotes fans. In my opinion, do I think hockey belongs in the desert? Yes, I 100% do. I am a Leafs and a Canucks fan. One of my favorite players and 2 players from the Toronto Maple Leafs were born in Arizona. Austin Matthews and obviously Matthew Nyes. These guys are Coyotes fans, or they should at least be at some point of their life. We know that hockey belongs in the desert, but the biggest thing is when you look at this, just knowing that there's reports coming out that there are agreements in order. You see that players are not being really talked to about this. You see the $1 billion offer. Yes, this does suck, but at the end of the day, there is a chance hockey will be back in the desert. I certainly hope it does. I hope they get their new arena. They prove everyone wrong. They build this arena. They build the fan base back up. Yes, you have to move on from guys like Shane Doan, Clayton Keller. You might have to go back into a rebuild. But at the end of the day, whatever it takes for them to get this game back into Arizona or into Phoenix is exactly what has to be done. What's your guys' thoughts on this? Do you think hockey belongs in the desert? Because I 100% do. If they do come back, are you hoping that they maybe get some of their old players back, or are you hoping for a fresh start? Let me know down in the comments. But with that'd be it for this episode of Hat Trick HQ. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to go down, leave a like, leave a comment, share this with your friends. You can be featured on the episode as comment of the day. I didn't really put anything into this, as we do have a strong Leafs fan base, and I'm sure a Leafs comment doesn't fit in well with this. But like I said, at the end of the day, hockey belongs in the desert, and it is up to the NHL to make this happen again. With that, take care.